The thing about the music is sometimes people want to get out into fantasy world, so there's a bit of aspiration, which is why, there's this age-old problem. Not problem. There's this age-old formula with things like music videos and stuff of projecting something fantastical. Sure thing, but you have to decide what you want for yourself. Whether you want to wake up in a new Bugatti properly, or whether you want to wake up in a new Bugatti only when you're shooting a music video. Like, do you want to have a level of success where you can have what people talk about, or do you want to talk about and pretend to have it?
Got it.
You just have to ask yourself that. You have to ask what you want for yourself. Do you want to do it for the gram, or do you want to do it for the real life? Like in real life, do you want to? These are the questions.
Yeah.
Jay-Z doesn't have to be on the Instagram. He is living the life people want to project.
Yeah.
So these are questions you have to ask yourself. It's that simple. Maybe for some people this is just a phase, but for 5 years they want to enjoy their youth, their teenage or early 20s and chill whatever. But then that's it. I can't knock you, but they just have to realize the realities of it. That if you are earning money and you're buying out the bar, when the guy who owns a couple of bars and stuff is not even doing that, then maybe you have to ask yourself whether you're making the right investments. Maybe that's not your goal. I can't really tell anybody how to live, because some people have I don't know when I'm going to go leave this earth attitude of our life, and that's them. I just know that for me, and maybe for some of us, it's important that we grow our business, because we put so much into our creative work that it's important that it yields more results as time goes on, and it's important that for that to happen, we invest what we get into it. I don't need to. I think it is such a powerful thing for people to love what you do. I don't need to impress them any further. What we do is impressive. How much more do I need to buy $3,000 jeans? Yes. Do you know what I can do with that?
Yeah.
I could spend like a week and I don't even. God, you know what I mean? I can have a time of my life I'll never forget. So all these things, I think, is important. Invest in yourself. So you get to a point where that spending you're doing is not hurting your business. It is actually pocket change. That's my point with you, because like I said, I would be happy to be the guy who is like almost like a writer lifestyle where, I can take 10 years off to find myself or find a new me, and I can afford it. Can you imagine? That's excellent. That's a great way that you would. Let's say as an artist, you've done like 15 to 20 years of being whatever you are, and you can say, I'm taking 10 years off to find a new something, and you can afford to, because you've grown your business to that point. Sting. I'll give an example. Sting. That song "I'm Missing You." That and the original. I think he gets like $850,000 in royalties of that song every year. Yeah.
There you have it. Drops mic.
Drops mic. Yeah. So if Sting is not releasing an album, you understand. That's one song. Now he can take the rest of his life off if he wanted to. He won't make music out of financial desperation, maybe out of other life desperations. It's important that sometimes we're able to give ourselves these options in life, and it's going to be amazing that if you create bodies of work and do your business right, you can hopefully do that. So that's what some of us are aspiring to. Shout out to you, Sting. Every time Puffy's one gets played to, he gets to change versus Sting. Yeah, almost $850,000 a year from this royalties from this one song. I mean, it's mind blowing.
Yeah.
But that's
also their market over there. Because I don't think you get.
Yeah, but what is stopping making music from here from having the world? Bob Marley's catalog, I'm sure right now, makes a certain amount of money a year, and he was never an artist in his lifetime that was that big even in America.
He wasn't, but his music, everyone could understand it. Right now, one of the things I liked about your music is I speak God, I don't speak you. Right? I can understand your music. There might be some bits and pieces that I don't understand, but at least I get it. Now the other musicians, unless it's God, I find it difficult to understand it. Right. So in that sense, maybe their focus is on the local market. So I don't see how that can expand overseas unless it's to the Ghanaians or the diaspora outside.
Well, what is one of the most famous ever African songs? Mama say, Mama say, Mama say. We don't. Who knows what that is? So I don't know if it's always true.
Okay.
It creates a new challenge when people cannot literally understand what you say.
Yeah.
So you have to let them understand a different language of it. With So Makosa by Manu Dibango, it is really kind of the alliterative quality or something that is so catchy that you don't actually have to understand what it means. So so it presents a different challenge. I don't think it's always people have to understand the language of it, not literally, but something else, and that's what I mean. Gangnam Style. Let's Macarena. All we need, there was something they translated into a dance or something else that made an impact. So I wouldn't worry so much. I think that I always say music is communication, art is communication, and hopefully over the years you become a better communicator and it helps you succeed better.
Yeah.
But not everybody also is meant to communicate to 1 billion people. You can communicate to 10 million people and still have a great business doing that. Those 10 million people love you and they'll give you a career, and like the Wu-Tang one person might be willing to buy one single copy of an album for millions, which is what happened the last Wu-Tang. This is just amazing things, so you have to decide how, recently a friend told me, Fiona, she said, with artists you have to go where the love is. You have to just realize these things. Not everybody has to be a global star. There might come a time where you maybe being an African star, being big in Africa as Beyonce or Rihanna is in the world, might be lucrative.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the case right now. I'm not saying it's not lucrative, but on the level where we're talking about
850
of a song.
From one song.
It's and that helps us. So, and it's not all just about business. I mean, it's also happiness too. Somebody might totally be happy being able to have a family, provide for the family, have a nice small home, etc., modest living, and make a living out of this. And maybe even when they are 75, they might have to go do a couple of shows a year. They might totally be fine with that. That's also okay. There's nothing wrong with it. There's not, can't live anybody else's dream or anybody else's plot, but you have to be aware and know that there's also better ways of doing things, so that, just give yourself a chance. Because another thing about being a public figure, being famous, is a lot of people want things from you. And I think for me, a good thing to be able to do is to be able to actually help some people, whether it's family, etc. People come to me every day for something. Whether it's strangers I see on the streets, or people that maybe I was in primary school. Because the expectation is I have the ability to help. And I'd like to increase that ability. Not that I would ever be able to help so many people, but increasing that ability to help. It just makes things a lot easier sometimes, because otherwise it's just dealing with societal back and forth, which are unnecessary, sort of. Yeah, if you're famous, you're rich apparently. So I need to make that manifest in my life. It's part of my business plan.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem.